Hey everybody, Devynn Thompson here with my amazing, sexy husband, OG Plum God. I almost said OB.
OB? We're not talking about the OBYN or what is it? OBGYN?
So today we're going to talk really dirty, and I'm really excited.
Oh shit, are you guys ready?
We're going to get real dirty.
Oh,
and today,
man.
oh my God.
Just tell me, girl.
So, okay, so just, I ordered you something for Valentine's Day,
Oh,
but I'm going to tell you what it is. So it's called an intimacy pack. It's cards where you ask each other intimate questions.
That's cool.
I mean, we've been married for 11 years, so I think it's important
to swap it up a little bit.
Swap it. Yeah, we're going to swap it up. I mean, I think it's important to make sure we're constantly engaging into each other. But we're going to talk about something even dirtier for some service providers, and that's contracting law.
Law, baby, law.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like talking about what's required of them to operate legally and ethically.
Nobody wants to do it, and nobody. Even if you're a licensed contractor, you're abiding by the laws. It sucks. But you know what sucks even more is the dudes that aren't, and they're actually winning the jobs over you, and you're paying your dues, and you're doing things the right way, and your customers don't care. But you know what, customers? You need to know the law too, because contracts go two ways. Do you know that? Did you know that?
And that's why we're called contractors, because we're going to show up to your door with contracts. That means this is the requirement and this is the agreement of service in order for us to provide the service to your house. Just like you sign a contract when you buy a car, you sign a contract when you contract work with a contractor.
Absolutely.
So
some people are like, oh, well, I'm like, did you read the contract? Did you understand what was going on? I didn't care what it said.
I didn't even read it.
I just was what you guys were telling me. No, ma'am, we're contractors for a reason. You better read the contract. We give you all the time in the world to read your contract. And if you had questions, we're more than happy to answer.
So one thing that I think is super important for any individual that wants to start a business, we're going to talk about checking yourself before you wreck yourself. So you don't want to set yourself up to where you're not protecting yourself and your customers. So I think it's important to really learn what's required of you legally where you live in order to provide the services that you provide.
Yep. So in the state of California, you can do work up to $500
without
a license contractor.
And Arizona, it's different.
Arizona is $1,000. So there is a big gap there. I'm licensed in both of those states, so that's the reason why I know those laws. If you're in other areas, it might be different. And it all depends on your jurisdiction, really. I mean, every state's got their own laws for a reason. Arizona's much a higher number because they're trying to, quote unquote, influence people to
encourage.
Sorry, yes, you're right. Encourage people
I'm just adding
to be into.
I'm adding encourage to influence.
Right. They want people to start new business, and so it's easier. It's easier for them to do it with a higher threshold. But what sucks is no matter what that threshold is, it's still hard for that guy that's starting out and doing it the right way, because we have to compete against the guys that can still make a high dollar wage on these jobs, and you don't get it. And you know what? In California, there's also a law is if you have a licensed contractor going out to this house and he provides you a bid, let's say it's $1,500, okay? He provides you a bid for $1,500. You hire an unlicensed contractor that does it for $800. Guess what? I can legally do is take that guy to court and take $1,500 from him, because that was my legal right to do, and he would actually go in the negatives of what, $700 for doing that job. He's paying me to do that job, and I don't even have to do anything. How amazing is that?
Okay, so beyond taking $700 from
But do you actually go to those steps? No, you don't.
Gosh, I mean, who's got time for that shit?
No one's got time for that.
But basically, we want to encourage everybody to really make sure that you understand what's required of you legally to perform that work. And I would say the first step to do is to contact your local licensing board.
Yep.
That would be normally it's governed by a state entity. So whatever state that you live in, contact the state license board. See what the requirements are to become a licensed contractor. You should always get a license. If you're working unlicensed and you know that you're skirting underneath the radar, working in the underground economy, which basically means...
I'm just going to tell you to get your shit together, because you're not. You're undercutting everybody else in the industry, and you have no idea what your raw cost is. And we'll be talking about that on later episodes. You better know your raw costs so that you can before you even think that you can compete with anybody else, because you're screwing people and you don't even know what the real cost is to do that job. You think that you actually do, but you're not paying these additional things.
So what's happening?
Now for customers, there is...
We're going to talk about what is required, not how we hate unlicensed contractors.
No, I'm not saying that.
So,
but
hey, if you're unlicensed, just so you guys know, if you're an unlicensed contractor, we really do not think too highly of you. We actually think that you're scum of the earth, because you're undercutting the people that have absolutely sacrificed time, money, and everything that they have to establish themselves to be legal and ethical. But what we are going to talk about is making sure that if you do want to become licensed, what is the first steps to make sure you're doing it correctly?
You call your licensing board.
My face is getting hot. Like, I was pissed right now.
Yeah, you are. Your chest is red.
I'm pissed.
And
Sorry. It really pisses me off.
I'm about to get some ice and cool your little butt down.
I don't know. It really makes me mad. But
it does.
I really,
you know why?
I just want to stay on topic.
We have to deal with this. We have to deal with this on maybe not a daily basis, but at least once or twice every other week.
So we are going to talk about, we're going to move on from the people that don't want to learn. For the people that do want to learn, the first step is contact your local state licensing.
State licensing board, and there's plenty of amazing ways that they will help guide you. Like, if you want to live by the law, be guided by the law. And they are going to show you exactly the steps that you need to take to do that. State of California is very hard to deal with. They don't want to help you get your license.
They don't even like picking up the phone.
They hate picking up the phone. They will make it tremendously hard for you to get your license.
And they'll fine you for being in not in compliance when they don't take the time to make sure that you're really educated sometimes. Moving on, though, the second step would be contact your city or your town.
Yep.
Ask them if they have any workforce development programs or any small business development programs.
So we actually use that. Yeah.
We were super fortunate enough. We live in San Bernardino County in California, and San Bernardino County had a free program for workforce development.
And I think they still have it. Yeah.
Okay, they still have it. But we're talking about how we didn't know.
There's resources out there to help you, because let's face it, like I don't know if we've talked about this before, but sometimes you gotta fall on your face and then learn, and then fall on your face again and then learn. But in these circumstances, there are many resources out there to help you, and all you have to do is ask for help. You go to your city, and when you go to your city or you go to your local chamber of commerce, they're gonna guide you in those directions. Yeah. The Chamber of Commerce have always supported us and always guided us in directions that they feel fit for our business. And honestly, I think that's one, and we're not sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, but I will say that that's one thing that's really stepped up our business to a different level than we even thought that we would be capable of.
So some of the resources that we found was the workforce development programs.
Yeah.
We had no idea what we were doing. We had absolutely no idea. We started our business, I was 25, you were 27. I mean, absolutely no idea. But we knew that we were hard workers and we had a dream, but that only will take you so far. So the important thing is truly taking the time to educate yourself based on what you need to do to make sure you're covering all your bases.
Right.
You know, there's so many different employment laws in different states. So if you're not sure about the employment laws, contact your local unemployment or employment offices as well. Ask them if they have any brochures, or even online they have PDFs that you can read based on.
And you can even download these PDFs on some sites and actually just modify it and put your name on it and do these things. They're already out there for free, you guys. You can find all this stuff for free without paying a dime to somebody. You just have to answer or pick up the phone. That's what I was trying to say. Pick up the phone and call somebody, and they're going to help guide you in those directions.
Or you can
if you don't ask for help.
Or you can do this. Pick up your cell phone.
Yep.
What are the requirements of...
in the state of California or the state of Illinois or the state of Washington? Google this stuff. I tell my guys all the time, if you don't know what a part is, you don't ask me about it, you Google about it.
That's what I learned.
You go to the truck and try and find a Santee. What's a Santee? Shit. I don't want to tell him that I don't know what a Santee is. I'm going to get my phone out, because we all know you got your phone, and Google that thing and figure it out.
Oh my God, you're so incredibly silly. I just love watching your face on the monitor. Okay, anyways, but he has a point. I mean, I learned because I forced myself to learn. If I didn't know, I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and not know, and I'm just going to pretend like they didn't ask me that question, or I shouldn't pursue this just because I'm uneducated. I made a point to educate myself, to protect my husband and I and our business and our family. I made a point, like I can't tell you guys how many different seminars and classes I went to, and they were all free. Free. You can't sit there and make excuses that you don't know when you're not using the resources that you have. Another thing is that you can find Facebook groups of small business owners that have the same type of business that you have, and you guys can discuss it back and forth. Hey, what do you guys do for this? What do you recommend for that? I think that social media has been such an amazing platform and support system for small business owners trying to figure out, as they navigate themselves through sometimes super choppy waters. They don't have an oar, but they're looking for help from somebody. And I just want to say that social media, I think, in my end, has helped. And I love, sometimes I won't even comment, but I'll read people's comment, or I won't comment, but I'll read their comics.
Right. But realistically, your Chamber of Commerce is where you're going to get a lot of help. I mean, you just go in there and be like, I want to be a part of it. When's your next event that you guys are going to do? Because I want to meet some people and I want to mingle. And you know what? I've actually said this to many people. A lot of people don't even know about the Chamber of Commerce, which is crazy.
So in our next episode, in another episode, I shouldn't say next episode, but in another episode, I want to talk about how investing yourself into your local community can really just catapult your business to the next stratosphere. I mean, I feel like when we started really investing into our relationships and really putting ourselves back into our community is when our business started to change.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for more topics and more tips from both John and I here at Beyond the Service, partnered with our friends at Mechanical Hub. I just want to say thank you so much. We're obviously super passionate people. I got kind of pissed there for a second talking about these things, but
and I hope you guys get pissed off too.
I hope you guys get pissed, and if you're that person on the other end, I hope you can sit there and look at the man in the mirror like Michael Jackson.
And I want to say one more thing about this law stuff, because this is one point that I wanted to get across.
Hey, we're wrapping up.
If you are working for another licensed contractor and you are doing side work, you're illegally doing that work. And realistically, that business that you are actually working for on payroll deserves that income that you are providing for yourself illegally, mainly because if you are employed by somebody that's licensed...
This is another episode.
It absolutely is.
That just basically means you're a scab. Have a good day, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Service.
Oh, no gang signs. No gang signs.
You can say peace.
No gang signs.
You can say
no.
peace.